You know what's interesting about New Jersey's colleges? We've got Princeton, an actual Ivy League school that's consistently ranked in the top 5 in the country. And then we've got everything else, a mixed bag of overpriced mediocrity, commuter school sadness, and campuses that feel like they were designed by the Department of Motor Vehicles. Today, we're looking into the colleges that matter in New Jersey. And by matter, I mean they're either somewhat well-known or have successfully convinced enough students into thinking a $120,000 degree in communications was a good investment. If you went to one of these schools and you're already typing an angry comment, save it. That energy should have gone towards studying for your finals. Let's start with Rutgers University, New Brunswick. Rutgers has over 50,000 students, which is less like a university and more like a small city where everyone's stressed and nobody knows where they parked. The campus is spread across multiple locations connected by buses that operate on vibes and prayers. You'll wait 45 minutes, 3 buses will show up at once, and none of them go where you need. People call Rutgers a public Ivy, which is adorable. That's like calling yourself a budget luxury brand. You're good, but let's not get carried away. You're taking organic chemistry with 400 other people in a lecture hall that smells like broken dreams and energy drinks. The professor doesn't know your name. The TA doesn't care. You're learning, sure, but you're also developing trust issues and a caffeine dependency. The campus itself looks like someone played SimCity drunk. You've got colonial-era buildings next to 1970s brutalist nightmares next to brand new dorms that cost $15,000 a year and still barely have AC. The aesthetic is, we gave up in 1982. And Rutgers students have this thing where they'll defend the school to outsiders, but privately admit it's a bureaucratic hellscape. Trying to get anything done at Rutgers is like filing taxes while someone screams at you. You need 3 forms, 2 signatures, and a blood sacrifice just to change your schedule. But hey, at least you'll graduate with a solid degree in crippling anxiety. Go Scarlet Knights. Next up, Princeton University. Oh, Princeton! The school where rich kids go to feel intellectual while their trust funds do all the heavy lifting. Princeton is gorgeous, I'll give them that. The campus looks like Hogwarts if everyone was insufferable and wore Patagonia. Gothic architecture, perfectly manicured lawns, students who unironically use the word thus in casual conversation. But let's talk about the eating clubs. These are Princeton's version of fraternities, except somehow more elitist because they're trying to be classy about exclusion. You pay dues to eat fancy dinners with other rich kids and pretend you're in a Jane Austen novel. It's not Greek life, it's cosplay for people whose parents are on the Forbes list. Princeton students will tell you they're changing the world, but what they mean is they're interning at McKinsey before going into private equity. They study philosophy and then spend their career optimizing corporate tax strategies. The cognitive dissonance is stunning. And Princeton is in Princeton, New Jersey, a town so wealthy that even the squirrels have stock portfolios. The locals treat students like an invasive species they tolerate because the university keeps property values high. Also, Princeton doesn't have a law school or business school because they're focused on undergrad education. Translation: professional degrees are too pedestrian for them. They're too fancy for something useful. But if you get in, you're set for life. You could major in interpretive dance and still end up running a hedge fund because your roommate's dad plays golf with someone important. Now let's talk about Montclair State University. Montclair is the school you go to when you need a degree but don't want to try very hard to get it. It's got 20,000 students, 300 majors, and 0 identity. Montclair is the I'll have whatever of universities. Nobody dreams of going to Montclair. You go there because Rutgers rejected you. Your parents won't pay for private school, and you don't want to commute to Kean. It's a fallback school pretending to be a destination. The campus is fine, the classes are fine, the professors are fine, everything is aggressively, depressingly fine. It's like eating plain oatmeal for 4 years and calling it a meal plan. And Montclair is a commuter school, which means campus dies at 3 p.m. Everyone's gone, the quad is empty. It's just you, the wind, and a deep sense that you made a series of questionable decisions. Montclair students don't have school spirit, they have resignation. The rallying cry isn't, "Let's go Red Hawks." It's, Well, at least I'll graduate. Next, Kean University. Kean is what happens when a community college has an identity crisis and decides to call itself a university. Kean is in Union, New Jersey, which is the town equivalent of shrugging. It's not good, it's not bad, it just is. And that's Kean's entire personality. The campus looks like a mid-tier office park, beige buildings, sad landscaping, parking lots that go on forever. If corporate America designed a college, it would be Kean. Kean offers 50 undergrad programs and 60 grad programs, which sounds impressive until you realize 90% of students are there for education or business degrees because those are the only two things anyone associates with Kean. The rest of the programs exist just to fill the course catalog, and Kean students treat college like a part-time job they hate. They show up, sit through class while scrolling Instagram, and leave the second it's over. There's no campus life, no student organizations that matter, just vibes of, I'm here because I have to be. Kean is the college equivalent of microwaved leftovers. Technically food, technically education, but nobody's excited about it. Now let's hit Rowan University. Rowan is the South Jersey state school for people who couldn't get into Rutgers but want to pretend they had other options. It's in Glassboro, which is basically down in the sticks of South Jersey. The campus is nice enough, but it's surrounded by farmland and a pervasive sense that you made a geographical mistake. Rowan is ranked in the top 100 national universities, which is the academic equivalent of finishing a 5K and calling yourself an athlete. Sure, you accomplished something, but nobody's throwing you a parade. Rowan has decent engineering and education programs, and that's about it. If you're not studying one of those, you're just killing time until you can transfer or graduate. And Rowan students have this weird inferiority complex about Rutgers. They'll say things like, Rowan was actually my first choice, with the energy of someone trying to convince themselves more than you. Nobody believes you, Brandon. You got waitlisted at Rutgers and you know it. Rowan is fine, it's just not special. It's the good job buddy of universities. Next up, the College of New Jersey, also known as TCNJ. TCNJ is the school for overachievers who didn't get into better schools and now have to act like TCNJ was always the plan. TCNJ is ranked number 4 in regional universities, which is great, but the students act like they got into Harvard. The smugness is suffocating. They'll casually mention they go to TCNJ in the same tone someone says they summer in the Hamptons. The campus is in Ewing, which is aggressively boring. There's nothing to do, nowhere to go, just a pretty campus surrounded by highways and suburbs where nothing happens. TCNJ has 7,400 students, which they love because it makes them feel boutique. But really, it just means there's nothing to do and everyone knows everyone's business. It's like high school, but with more debt. TCNJ students are high-achieving, type A people who are secretly devastated they didn't get into Princeton. They'll talk about choosing TCNJ for the value. But late at night, they're Googling transfer requirements for schools that actually impress people. The academics are solid, the outcomes are good, but the vibe is, we're better than you, even though nobody outside New Jersey knows we exist. Now let's talk about Seton University. Seton Hall is a private Catholic school in South Orange, which means you're paying $50,000 a year to live next to Newark and attend mandatory theology classes. Seton Hall is expensive, like really expensive. You're paying private school tuition for a school that most people confuse with that basketball team that's sometimes good. The campus is nice. Old buildings, Catholic vibes, crucifixes in every classroom to remind you that Jesus is watching you fail microeconomics. And Seton Hall is right next to Newark, which the school spins as access to urban opportunities. What they mean is you'll hear sirens at 2 a.m. and learn to sleep through them. Seton Hall's basketball team is decent, which is great if you care about basketball. If you don't, you're just paying $200,000 for a degree you could have gotten at Rutgers for half the price. Seton Hall students love to act like they're at a prestigious institution, but they're really just at an overpriced regional school with a nice gym. Next, Rutgers University. Rutgers is the school that nobody's heard of and the students are tired of explaining it. I go to Rutgers. Where's that? Lawrenceville, near Princeton. Oh, so Princeton? No, Rutgers. Is that a community college? That's the Rutgers experience in one conversation. Rutgers is a small private school that costs $45,000 a year and offers nothing you couldn't get at a state school for less. The campus is pretty, the business school exists, but mostly Rutgers is just there, taking up space, charging tuition. Rutgers students know they're overpaying. They know, but they've committed, so now they have to defend it. They'll tell you about small class sizes and close relationships with professors, which is code for we have nothing else to brag about. Rutgers is the participation trophy of universities. You went, you graduated, nobody cares. Let's hit New Jersey Institute of Technology, or NJIT. NJIT is where you go if you want to be an engineer and hate fun. The campus is in Newark, surrounded by concrete, highways, and a pervasive sense that joy is a myth. NJIT students don't party. They don't socialize. They do problem sets and cry in the library. The student body is like 70% male, 90% STEM majors, and 100% emotionally unavailable. Everyone's grinding towards six-figure jobs at tech companies, and they'll sacrifice happiness, sleep, and basic human interaction to get there. NJIT's campus looks like a tech startup designed a prison. Modern buildings, glass, sadness, but the career outcomes are solid. NJIT grads make money. They just spend 4 years dead inside to get there. Now let's talk about Monmouth University. Monmouth is a private school in West Long Branch, which means you're paying $45,000 a year to attend class in what used to be somebody's mansion. The campus is genuinely beautiful. Woodrow Wilson Hall looks like a wedding venue, which makes sense because Monmouth basically is a 4-year wedding. Expensive, full of photos, and you'll forget most of it. Monmouth is near the beach, which sounds great until you realize the student body is 90% people who never emotionally left the Jersey Shore. Range Rovers, vineyard vines, and parents who work in finance but can't explain what that means. And Monmouth loves to market itself as this prestigious beach university, but really it's just an overpriced regional school with nice lawns. They'll post campus photos on Instagram captioned "blessed," while their parents quietly refinance the house to pay tuition. The academics are fine. Business and communications programs for kids whose backup plan is working at their dad's company anyway. Monmouth students act like they're at a top-tier institution, but they're really just at Seton Hall with better views and worse academics. Now let's hit Stockton University. Stockton is the South Jersey school in Galloway for people who want to be near the beach but also need a degree that's not from a community college. The campus is huge and weirdly empty. Everything looks the same. Same height buildings, same beige color, same "we built this in 1978 and gave up" energy. You need a car just to get to class. Walking isn't exercise, it's a commute. Stockton has this whole eco-friendly campus in the Pinelands thing going, which is great if you like nature and terrible if you like civilization. The nearest real town is 20 minutes away, and it's Atlantic City, which stops being a selling point the second you actually go there. The student body is around 10,000 people who are all just kind of there. Nobody's excited, nobody's miserable, just vibes of "we're getting through this." Stockton students will brag about the lake on campus like it's a feature. It's a pond, a sad pond nobody swims in. Stockton is perfectly fine, perfectly forgettable, and perfectly content being neither. Let's now hit Stevens Institute of Technology. Stevens is in Hoboken, sitting on a hill with views of Manhattan, which is perfect for reminding students every day that they're almost in New York, but not quite. Stevens costs $60,000 a year, which is insane. You're paying Ivy League tuition to live in Hoboken and study engineering at a school most people have never heard of. The campus is tiny. You can walk it in 8 minutes. It's less like a university and more like a high school for people who are really, really good at math. And Stevens is like 70% male, 90% engineers, and 100% people who don't go to parties. Social life is minimal. Everyone's grinding for tech jobs in Manhattan or playing League of Legends in their dorm. Stevens loves to brag about high starting salaries, which is true. Grads make bank. But they spend 4 years with no real college experience, so it's less college and more a very expensive trade school with a view. Stevens students act superior because they're in Hoboken, but they're really just across the river paying $2,000 for a studio with broken AC. The lovely William Paterson University. William Paterson is in Wayne, which is North Jersey's suburban sprawl at its most depressing. The campus looks like someone gave up halfway through designing it. 1960s concrete blocks mixed with random new buildings that don't match. William Paterson is the school nobody applied to on purpose. You ended up there because it was close, it was cheap, and you just needed to go somewhere. The student body is around 9,000 people, and every single one is a commuter. Campus life doesn't exist. Everyone shows up, goes to class, and leaves immediately. The parking lots are full, the dorms are empty, the academics are fine, education programs, business programs, music programs, all perfectly adequate. Nobody's winning awards, nobody's changing the world, just people getting degrees and moving on. William Paterson students have this defeated energy. They're not excited. They're not miserable, just existing in a state of, well, this is what I can afford. It's the school you explain by saying it's near Paterson. And then people slowly understand why tuition was cheap. Next, let's talk about Fairleigh Dickinson University. FDU has 2 campuses, Teaneck and Madison, and both feel like nobody's first choice. It's a private school costing $45,000 a year, which is insane because nobody outside New Jersey has heard of it. The acceptance rate is like 85%, which means if you got rejected from FDU, you should probably rethink college entirely. FDU has this identity crisis where it's trying to be a serious institution, but also has to accept everyone because enrollment is tanking. The academics are fine, the facilities are fine, everything is fine, but fine shouldn't cost $180,000 over 4 years. That's not fine. That's financial malpractice. FDU loves to brag about having a campus in Vancouver, which sounds impressive until you realize it's a marketing gimmick, and 99% of students will never go there. FDU students know they're overpaying, but they've committed to the bit and now have to pretend it was a deliberate choice. Finally, let's wrap this up with Ramapo College. Ramapo is the nature school in Mahwah, which sounds cute until you realize it's built into a mountain and walking to class is a CrossFit workout. Ramapo markets itself as environmentally conscious, which means the students compost and talk about sustainability while driving home in their parents' SUVs. The campus is pretty, lots of trees, fresh air, absolutely nothing to do. Ramapo is in the middle of nowhere. The nearest civilization is a Walmart. Social life is hiking or sitting in your dorm wondering why you didn't go somewhere with a downtown. Ramapo has 6,000 students, all of whom are either crunchy granola types or people who just wanted a small school close to home. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. Nobody regrets it, but nobody brags about it either. Ramapo is the college equivalent of oat milk, harmless, trendy, forgettable. So there you have it. New Jersey's colleges, one Ivy League school for rich geniuses, one massive state school for everyone else, and a bunch of mid-tier universities trying their best. If you went to one of these schools, congrats on surviving. Drop a comment defending your alma mater. We'll believe you. Probably.